I've got Camila Cabello backstage here with me at Jingle Ball. Hello, love.
Hello.
How are you?
I am great. I'm in the holiday spirit. It's almost Christmas. I'm good.
I couldn't help but notice you walked backstage and 4 or 5 people said your hair looks fabulous.
Oh, thanks.
It looks like a lot of protein. I mean, it's just
Thanks.
so healthy looking. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. That is
what
really
you know
nice.
what it is?
My last name actually means hair in Spanish. Fun fact.
Really?
Cabello means hair.
So you have to have fabulous hair.
That would, yeah. I mean,
no, when your name says
so.
hair, you got to have great hair.
Well, one day, when, maybe if I don't, it would be very ironic.
So I just mentioned Post Malone was on the countdown. Do you know him? Have you met? Have you guys worked together ever?
I have. Actually, it's funny. When I did Never Be the Same, I was, we were writing that song. I was with Frank Dukes in the studio, and we had just finished writing that song, and Frank was about to work with Post Malone.
Yeah.
And he came in, and I met him for the first time, and he was actually the first person to hear that song, other than, like the people that were in that room that day. So, yeah, he heard Never Be the Same, and then he came in. Then my mom came in, and he met my mom, and he was like, "Oh, your daughter wrote a really cool song." And that was the first time that we met, so... Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it's always good to work mom. Make sure mom's okay.
Everybody likes her better than me, though. I'm just used to it at this point.
I heard that. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, do you have dream collaborations, like a wish list of people that you'd like to check off and work with?
Definitely. I feel like I always say Ed Sheeran. He's probably been my go-to answer for the past few years. I love him. I think he's just incredible. I've been a fan of him for years, and we're friends now, and hopefully we can have something in the future out.
Wait a minute, is there something?
Well, we've definitely collaborated before, but I'm not going to say anything else. But
so there's nothing coming down the pipe already.
Yeah, there is. But it's. I'm going to shut up now.
Okay, this is when Camila starts looking around the room at her staff, and they're like,
Too bad
what are you doing?
I kicked them all out.
Oh, my God.
So
ladies and
nobody's
gentlemen, breaking news from Backstage here at Jingle Ball.
But it's not necessarily like him and I on the same... We just collaborated on something together. But it's not necessarily him and I on the same song.
Okay.
Yeah. But that would be great, too. Wait a second. I'm so stupid. You know what? I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up right now. I'm just going to shut up.
I do that to people. I make them very uncomfortable. And I make people say things they really don't want to say or shouldn't say.
You're good at that, you know? That means you're good at your profession.
You were quoted...
means I'm bad at mine.
You were quoted recently as saying you're happier now than you've ever been.
Yeah.
Is that true? And if so, why?
For sure. I just feel very just kind of comfortable in my own skin. I feel like I really understand, the meaning of things. And I feel like I don't freak out about unnecessary things anymore. I feel like before I used to kind of stress out unnecessarily, like just kind of torture myself about things unnecessarily. I feel like I've just gotten better at letting myself like be happy, And I think it just has a lot to do with the fact that I'm just doing things that I love, and I'm surrounded by really incredible people. And also I think I've done a better job this year of like finding balance, and learning how to switch off so that when I switch on, I'm better, and I am, more present. And I think I've just kind of learned how to balance things out more.
Well, what's the typical day in a life of Camila Cabello?
Well, it depends.
Is every day totally filled every minute, or how does it work?
Well, that's kind of one thing that I've gotten better at, is realizing that working 24 hours a day isn't actually necessarily the best thing. You need those few hours to kind of let your mind roam, because that's when you come up with new ideas. That's when, you watch something that inspires you or influences you to, that'll influence the next thing that you make. Like, you need to not constantly be giving output. You also need to have input, whether that's seeing something inspiring, whether it's in the form of a movie or an album or going to a place. All of those things make you grow as a person, and I think it makes you grow in your work too. So that's what I've gotten better at, is I think just growing as a person. And it shows, like, I feel like it reflects on you know, the music that I'm writing or when I perform on stage. It's just kind of like more of a peace and like a passion, because it's less insecurity, it's more love and less fear, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think just kind of balancing, having like more input is really important.
You mentioned the word movie. Do you have a favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably my favorite movie of all time. I really like the movie Life is Beautiful.
Of course, yeah.
That's my mom's favorite movie too. I think that would probably be one of them, like top 5. But I have different categories for movies. There's like animated movies, Disney movies, like Christmas movie, probably Polar Express or Elf. But I love movies. I think that's music and movies. I think art in general is like really what I'm passionate about. But I love movies too. I went the other day to see 2 movies at the movie theater.
So when you're not working your own music, do you have a favorite artist?
I've actually been listening to a lot of 70s music.
Oh, really? Like 70s disco or
like
70s
today
classic rock?
I was listening to like the Bee Gees and like Elton John. Because I grew up listening to a lot of Latin music because, you know, I grew up in a Latin household. So now I'm kind of going back and rediscovering things. So I just have like a 70s playlist on Spotify, and I've just been kind of like rediscovering a lot of people. I've always been a huge Queen fan, but I saw Bohemian Rhapsody the other day, so I've been like nonstop listening to Queen.
God, the trailer alone when it came out for that movie,
oh my God,
was worth the price of a movie.
His performance.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have, and we had
unbelievable.
Rami and the cast in studio.
Wow.
Right before the movie came out.
Well,
it was very cool.
Rami, his performance was incredible. I know that somebody's performance is great when I forget that I'm like watching a movie. You know, it felt like it was him. It was crazy.
Got to ask you, what are you going to be doing? Where are you going to be for the holidays?
I'm going to be in Miami for the holidays, and I'm going to go to London before the holidays. So that'll be fun.
We're going to play your song on the countdown, Never Be the Same. You want to talk about it before we roll?
Yeah, well, Never Be the Same is probably, I don't want to say it's my favorite from the album, but definitely top 3. Never Be the Same, Consequences, in Havana. All the singles. I'm just kidding. but yeah, Never Be the Same is super special to me, and I feel like I really love that song because I'm such a hopeless romantic, and I feel like that song is kind of like sonically what falling in love for the first time feels like. So hope you like it.
Well, let's all get romantic for the holidays. So on the Kiss Top 30 Countdown and backstage at Jingle Ball. Great to see you again, Camila Cabello.
Great to see you. Merry
and here's
Christmas.
Never Be the Same on the Kiss Top 30 Countdown.